How do you flick the switch to become an entrepreneur? Is what we're talking about today on the eCentral Business Show. I'm John Nayler, and it's my pleasure to introduce Mike O'Hagan, entrepreneur, and Mini Movers is one of your businesses, yeah?
Yeah.
Household name.
32 years ago I started Mini Movers, still got it today. It's one of my, I think, 8 or 9 businesses that I've now got.
Yeah, okay, fabulous. Now, today we're answering that question of how do you flick the switch from being an entrepreneur? And I think off camera we were talking a little bit about your personal story. What happened for you?
Look, everybody has their own journey, but my journey was pretty normal, I suppose. At the age of 14 I got chucked out of the education system. The teacher was wrong. I told them they were wrong, and apparently they weren't, and that was called disruptive, and I no longer went to school. Did my time as the very next day, started as a apprentice electrician, doing electrical work and doing an apprenticeship. Qualified by the time I was 17. Went on and did all sorts of jobs, did every sort of job known to mankind for the next 10 years, and at the age of 28 in Brisbane in Australia, I was working at Woolworths as a forklift driver, and
one of the many things.
I applied to become for their managing. They had a manager training program, and I applied for that.
Yes.
And I got rejected. They put us into a classroom, gave us all a test, and I was the first one they called out of the room and told me I wasn't suitable for management. Now, I'll tell you, I wore that mantra for many years. I was angry about that for many years, but now, of course, my role today is I only employ managers. I would not hire me as a manager because I'm disruptive. I want to change. I'm never happy. And I won't follow processes, you see, which is what you want managers to do.
Okay.
Age of 28, I started in Brisbane, in Annerley, as a second-hand dealer, buying and selling things.
Yes.
Went into business because I wanted to be my own boss.
Yeah.
Was very successful at that. I was very good at buying. I bought very, very cheaply. I learned to sell it for the right price, and was, it boomed. Over the next 6 years, I grew 3 shops, one at Annerley, one in Greenslopes, and another one in Bulimba. I was involved in the Second-Hand Dealers Guild in Brisbane. I helped change the legislation. I started paying a house off. I had leased a nice little car.
And how was that going for you?
Well, all the outside world, it all looked normal. Everybody was, wow, isn't he a great business guy? But the problem was this, the reality was this. I was working, my shops were open 7 days a week.
Okay.
So I was working 7 days a week. I was doing almost a 90-hour week.
Okay.
Getting a couple of days off a year, Anzac Day and Christmas Day, and that was it.
Yeah, right. That doesn't sound like entrepreneurship.
No. Well, it wasn't entrepreneurship. It was slavery. The problem was that I was earning just a little bit more, not much more, than my employees are only working 40 hours a week.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's so true of so many people in business.
A person close to me in Sydney, and he does an incredible job, and so does his people. But he says most of my people are getting paid a lot more than me. I go, that doesn't sound right.
Well, John, I did that.
And you know who you are.
I did that for 6 years, and I got very angry with myself and worked out that that's pretty close to the definition of stupidity. It really is. So at the age of 34, I will say to you that I became an entrepreneur.
Do you flick the switch?
I flicked the switch. Look, honestly, it was as easy as this. I was angry about what was going on. I was thinking, I'm working on this, I'm getting there, and everybody thought I was highly successful, and I kind of was, but I wasn't kind of getting what I wanted. And one night I'm watching TV, and I suddenly realised that what I want is what you see inside that TV screen. I want a big house, big boat, fast cars, and a jet-style lifestyle. And I realised that I personally, Mike O'Hagan personally, that's what I wanted.
Okay.
And I sat down and thought that through and thought, if I want that, how am I going to get it? And I realised I'd never get it working on wages for somebody. And I wasn't going to get it with my current business because it was locked. I couldn't scale it up.
Yeah.
And I started thinking that through, and I started working out that I needed to find something else. I needed to find something lots of people want that could be scaled, that I could be uniquely different, and it had unlimited ability to grow. And short story was, I went off, kept my second-hand shops for several years after that, but I messed around with a whole lot of different ideas, business plans that all convinced myself most things weren't going to work. And purely by accident one day I discovered hourly rate local moving, and nobody had thought of it, and I discovered that it was a great way to do it. And that's how Mini Movers was born. Got no idea how to move furniture, never moved a stick of furniture, and I started the business purely to feed my lifestyle.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's when you become an entrepreneur, is when you work on your business and not in it. I've never worked in Mini Movers.
But hang on, recoil a bit there. It was about 30 seconds ago you said something really poignant about, you realised at some point that, I can't remember what it was, but it was really poignant.
you realise that you need to get into a business. You need to grow it and grow it. You need to work on the business, not in it.
Yeah, and I was talking about that flick of the switch. Like, what was the thing? What was that moment you said, like, no, this is a dog.
I was watching TV one night, and it just occurred to me.
You wanted that lifestyle. You wanted
yeah.
that level of success, and so you then went on a mission to explore various business models until you found one that financially worked out.
Yeah. And I knew,
and hadn't been explored.
I wrote a list of what the business would have to be. It had to be from where I could start it, from where I didn't want to borrow any money.
Oh, okay.
I wrote a list out, and I had a list of about 15 criteria. Happy to send them if anybody wants them. They can hunt me down, and I'll send it to them.
Oh, okay. 15 criteria.
Nice little list against the criteria what I wanted.
That's a nice little takeaway. We might go hunt that one down for you. LinkedIn, yeah.
And I just worked through my list till I finally found something that I could ramp up.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So, well, that's fabulous. And now Mini Movers has moved on to being, I think you said something around 400 vehicles or something.
And look, Mini Movers is...
So that's just one of those things you do?
Yeah. Look, Mini Movers just grew, and we sort of experimented with everything. We made a lot of mistakes. When we figured out how not to make the mistakes, we then systemised it, and we duplicated it. And so it's all about systemising and duplicating. It really is. And, Mini Movers today operates in Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth. We only do short distance direct door-to-door furniture moving, very, very niche, very, very focused on one thing. We do one thing and we do it very well. I see a lot of business people trying to do anything and everything. I think that's wrong. I think you really own your niche and rule that. Own the trucks and employ everybody as employees. So no franchising, no contractors. That way I can control the workmanship. Yeah, you've got some quality there. Okay. We've got 2 minutes left. What I want to say, and maybe it's been a bit cheeky, but entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur seems to be something that the millennials have grabbed and taken hold of, and they go to Gary Vee conferences and they punch the air going, we all want to be entrepreneurs. I mean, can you be too old to become an entrepreneur? I don't think you can be too old to become an entrepreneur. How old was Sanders when he started Kentucky Fried? Okay, answer the question for me. He was in his 80s. Oh, there you go. All right. I don't think there's such thing as being too old. Entrepreneurship's about building businesses and growth businesses. And unfortunately in Australia, so many Australians are trapped in their business and all they own is a job. They really do. If you get out of bed in the morning and you have to, it's only a job. It's time you start thinking through what you're doing, trying to work out something else. And you don't get rid of your day job, keep it there, start a business on the side, grow it up, but start it with the intention. If there's one thing that I learned from my second-hand shop days, I was in business for the wrong reason. I was in business to be my own boss. That's where I aimed, that's where I got. When I started Mini Movers, my complete different focus. I was there purely to build a business for a lifestyle for me and grow and ramp it up. And that was very, very clear. And I had a different purpose for going into the business, and as a result, it grew. It grew because it was designed to grow. Fantastic, Mike. Great story. Okay, will you stick around and talk to us a few more other subjects? I will indeed. Okay, Mike, thank you very much. That's all for today on the eCentral Business Show. I'm John Nayler. Thank you very much for watching another episode of the eCentral Business Show. What we're doing on the eCentral Business Show is we're bringing you business leaders and the best of the knowledge. We want to bring them on the show and release that content so that that's something that we can share with you by this easy to consume format. So you can follow us across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google+, or just regularly visit the eCentral.com.au/show website. Pick out the best things for you and educate yourself on that premise. Now there's video content there for you, so you can just watch the video and inform yourself in your own time. We've also now podcasting that content as well, so it's really simple to consume. You can listen to it on the way to work in the car or during your daily exercise regime. Beyond that, we're also looking to connect with business experts. So if you consider yourself to be an expert in your field, please make contact so we can schedule you in and have you come on the show. So you can release your content and increase your brand across our format. Beyond that, we also invite people to send us their email address so we can send you our monthly magazine. And that's just the best of the content, the best of the videos for the month. Put out once again, and an email arrives in your inbox so you can just go through and pick out the things that are really going to educate you and advance you in your field of expertise and in business. We're a business-focused show. So thank you very much once again for watching, and we'll see you next time.